Helps to turn the mic on. Hi, everybody. I'm Timothy Mitchell. That's what it says up on the header above me. Now it's gone. I am a latex application specialist with HP. I have a new product that's been introduced to the market, and I've been asked to give it a look over. And what I see, I like a great deal. It is by HP, and this is, I think, a classic product that everybody uses. It is the HP Prime 13-ounce gloss scrim banner. Yes, everyone's favorite 13-ounce gloss scrim banner. The complement to every chain link fence and piece of rebar hanging from a wall across the glorious globe. The 13-ounce scrim banner is a product widely used. It's one of the most familiar products, and HP Latex is outstanding outdoor, both for color fastness, durability, and then overall scratch, wear, and tear, and everything else. It's a perfect complement to a scrim banner. And I have a scrim banner right here. This is the new HP scrim banner, HP Prime. This is the gloss version. There's also a matte version. All gloss scrim banner to a little bit are going to have a little dimply. It's not going to be perfectly smooth. It's just the nature of scrim banner. You know, you put grommets in them and you hang them up over a building or, wherever you put them. What I wanted to know about this is, can you download it right from the media locator? And the answer is, yeah, it's right there. You just go substrate, type in HP, download it right in. Okay, easy, perfect. Next, can I print from the pinch rollers? Well, I'm not sure about that just yet because we're actually going to do it in real time and see how that works. Now, the first thing that I did here is I rolled it out a little bit, which is the suggestion you will be given when you load the media. The printer will recommend, hey, you might want to roll this out a little bit. In other words, don't print from the pinch rollers. If you want to use the media feed accessory to attach to it and have that act as the weight that would replace the take-up reel, then yes, that's a recommendation. In this case, I loaded up. Now, this print, okay, this is Rembrandt. I'm a big fan of Rembrandt. This is the abduction. I'm being kind here. This is the abduction of Europa. Okay. The bull over there is Zeus, and Zeus saw some nice looking maiden that he found alluring, and he just, ran off with her, much to the dismay of the onlookers, because that's not something you see every day. It's it, it's a difficult painting to explain in a family-friendly environment, but let me just say that if Zeus were alive today, I think he'd be serving hard time someplace. The trouble is, you got to catch him, and you got to prosecute him, and you've got to incarcerate him, and I just don't think that's going to fly. He turns into all sorts of creatures, swans, bulls. Fantastic painting. Again, I believe this is from the Rijksmuseum. It might also be from the National Gallery. I like to go through all of the museum's open collections because they frequently have high-resolution fine art files for individual use that people can look at. And it really will allow you to, I figure I'm going to print something, I may as well print some nice lady being abducted by a bull. But let's get to the next part. What I want to know is, can you print from the pinch roller? So what we'll do is, these printers have a really great new inline rotary cutter. And this rotary cutter is fantastic. It just chops right through almost everything. So turn on vacuum. We're going to hit cut. I've cut through polycarbonate, banner, canvas. I even cheat it and have it cut fabric by telling it fabric is adhesive vinyl, and away it goes. And that cut perfectly. Now, something else which you might be able to see when I was cutting this, I've already done a closed loop color calibration, which is what we recommend to do when you get a new media. This media loaded in fine, and the other thing I always want to know is, how does the closed loop color calibration work? Well, Well, it worked perfectly. It worked just like it was supposed to work. What that does is you get a new media from the media locator, hit closed loop color calibration or just color calibration. It prints that chart, reads it, and then creates reference points based upon your print heads on your printer at the time you do it. And it makes adjustments in different directions sure that you have, I call it like a color fingerprint. Once you have the fingerprint, the printer's hard drive, again, solid state, remembers it. And then a month from now, if you wish to be very close to the same color you printed a month ago, you hit color calibrate, prints the chart, makes the adjustments, and now your colors will be very close to the original color. It's using the printer's onboard spectrophotometer the way it's intended by adjusting the color calibration so that you always print the same color. So print, no trouble. Color calibration, no trouble. I built an extra mode. When you download it, it gives you one mode, which I believe is 6-pass, which is perfect. But in some cases, I want to add other modes, a 4-pass or an 8-pass. So standard day-to-day production, high speed, high quality. And by high quality, the resolution is always the same. All we're changing here is the density of the ink, which is your chroma value, your color gamut. 100% on a banner is going to give you pretty much everything you want. This is loaded in. We have the cool new feature here, which allows me to, from the job queue, I just scroll to where we were, and I hit reprint, and I tell it 1, and I hit print. The green blinky light has gone on, which means we're going. You've given us a job. And in a short amount of time here, we're going to find out, and the printer has to warm up. Now, the nice thing about latex printers is I have not run this printer for a couple days. Print's been hanging out of the front. I got the equipment set up, and I just walked in. I haven't run a test print. I haven't done a cleaning or anything like that. You don't need to do that with latex printers. The printer is doing two things here. It is checking all of your print nozzles to ensure that they're all working properly. So the optical drop detector is going to check all of the nozzles. If a nozzle is responding, it will continue. If a nozzle is not responding, we will map to another nozzle automatically. Once the process has gone through and the printer reaches ideal temperatures, releases the job. And we're about to find out if you can print from the pinch rollers on the new HP Prime 13-ounce gloss scrim banner. My guess is probably not. My guess is this would perform better or more reliably with less chance of having a head crash where the material, it has to go through the opening into the curing unit, the door will open automatically, and down it goes. You will find, I think, that it will perform a little better if it has a little weight out the front of it, or if you attach the media feed accessory. This feed accessory is not the one online that comes with the pad replacements for the ink collectors. This is one that you reach out and say, I want the one with the weights on it. That's why I sometimes call it the media saver, and they'll know what you mean. Being able to print from the pinch rollers is nice. I'd prefer that, and that's why I'd always like to do it. But if it becomes something that doesn't work with a high degree of regularity, then you're going to either have to roll it forward. Now, with an 800 series like I have here, the take-up reel is so close that all I have to do is lift this lever, and then I can put a take-up right there. So you really don't have much distance from the print point to the take-up reel. And that's one of the nicer things I think about the 800. The 700 drops down a little further. Your scrim banner gloss, it's exactly what you would expect. It looks great. One of the advantages with these printers is you can run on considerably lower temperature, which will reduce the sort of little dimpling effect. But you know, almost anything on a gloss scrim banner that you run through here, even at lower temperatures, is going to have some of it. It's not going to be, now if you put in a PET super smooth or a smooth banner or a PVC smooth banner or polypropylene or polyester films, yes, those will all print perfectly flat. You won't see a thing. You will see also less of it with matte than with gloss. But when you put the gloss on and you're doing it over a scrim, it does have to warm up. We're not using that much heat. It goes through the unit fairly quickly, so you're not going to have much of an issue there. But it is possible that you're going to have a little dimply, which, again, you're hanging up on a chain link fence someplace. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Reliable product. It looks good. The gloss is really gloss. One thing about latex, which has always been true, if the product is glossy, the latex takes on the glossy. If the product is matte, the latex takes on the matte. That's how it's always worked. This should be just about ready. It takes a little longer this time, and there it goes, because it is doing the optical drop detector, which is what we want it to do. An optical drop detector checks all the nozzles. You don't have to. It eliminates banding. It's a very clever tool. We've had it for a long time. So watching it here, it's printing right at the edge. Everything looks great. Let's check my settings. And you can adjust some things while it's printing in this state. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Printing. 6-pass, 6-color, 100%. Everything looks good so far. Everything's moving along. The anticipation is killing me. And we'll find out. Now, if it does give you some trouble in the platen, and this can happen. See, we have a platen here, and the platen can get warm. That's where we're evaporating the water. You activate the latex component of the print, and now you have a completely dry and finished print out the gate. If that gets too warm and the material is soft, or tends to get softer when it's running through the heater, that soft material combined with the temperature will cause it, instead of gliding through, will stick a little. And if it sticks a little, we're still feeding it. And when stick and feed, you end up with a fold. And stick and feed leads to fold, and fold leads to the carriage. Catching it, as soon as it senses any resistance, it stops automatically. It's going to force you to move the carriage over, start the printer again, and then resume where you were, but with some loss of media, which I prefer not to have happen. Oh, we're going to miss it right here. There it goes. I'm a Harry Truman guy. He was from Missouri. What's the motto of Missouri? Show me. So that's what happens when you load from the pinch rollers with the HP and probably almost any other 13-ounce scrim banner. Now, the great thing about latex here is, okay, nobody likes to, I just saw it fold. It did exactly what I was describing. I'm going to shut this off. Okay, printer is off. We use thermal print heads. If I did take out a couple of nozzles, it will automatically replace them. I find on the whole, our thermal print heads are very durable. This kind of thing does happen. It's a lot better happening on a water-based thermal print head than using a piezo with solvent-based, because this is a very forgiving process. I'm going to push that out of the way. I'm going to lift this up a little, and I think probably most of this has gone through. Nope. And then what I'm going to do is bring this back down again, because I'm going to feed it a little bit of the way through, get it out the front, have it clear, probably bring it through here and put some weight on it, or I might just cut it off and toss it. But you're not going to be able to run this from the pinch rollers, as I just demonstrated, in real time, and that's perfectly fine. The printer is very clever. It will recover from this nicely. Now, one thing that might have avoided it, it's a possibility, now that's what I was discussing, is the output platen protectors. The output platen protector, it's actually one big piece. It goes across the platen, and there's a piece of Velcro you put on the underside. And when that goes through there, what that does is it prevents the warm platen from touching the soft banner and then having it do exactly what it did. Stick a little, fold, head crash. It'll glide across that output platen and then it can go right through there. That's my next attempt to see, what's the next mitigating thing that I could do and see if it will still run at the pinch rollers. But I think a better solution is roll it forward so it has some weight on it, roll it and put it on the take-up reel. You could certainly tape a leader to it, do it flush, and your other option is to attach the media feed accessory, or as I call it, the media saver, and that will waste very little. It'll put the weight on the front of it. I discussed that on the HP 18-ounce Prime pole banner. It also would work well here. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for allowing me to show you an actual head crash. Printers are going to recover perfectly. It always does. It's not the end of the world. The nice thing about our technology is if things go wrong, it recovers very nicely. Now, I kind of knew this might happen, but I'm saving you. I'm saving you the aggravation of doing it yourself by showing you what happens. And it's very possible most of the banner material, most of your scrim banner is going to tend to do this. And so we are recommending the mitigating steps that I've already covered. Thank you very much for viewing. This is Timothy Mitchell signing off, and we'll go out with the trio again. It's actually a quartet. I don't know why I keep calling it a trio. There are 4 people.